How's everybody doing today? First and foremost, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I want to talk to you, America, about some things. I'm going to clarify some things that people might have heard or read about in the Bible. And over time, things have changed somewhat, and they've been taken out of context, and they've been handed to people that really have no place involved in justice, we'll say. First and foremost, I want to talk about one of the oldest. I'm Old Testament. Most of my time was spent in the Old Testament. I'm goddamn curses and plagues. God sends me when he needs a good curse or plague. I am Old Testament to the core. So I want to talk to you about some of the teachings and where these come from and how they're truly supposed to be carried out, people. Because I want you to understand where this is going. Because I know what's on my heart, and I know what I read and hear from Americans. And I need you to understand exactly what it entails. Because a lot of people, they say certain things, but when it comes time, everybody's a gangster till it's time to do gangster shit. Then people suddenly discover they're not really a gangster. And I want you all to understand what you're signing up for, because I'm gonna see it through, people. I'm gonna see it through, and I'm gonna tell you why. First, we're gonna start with people. I want to say there's a lot of people involved in the Epstein files, people. These things are being handled quietly behind closed doors. There's being money paid out to victims. There's things that are happening, and so that's why there's agreements being made where once the people take the money, you know what I mean, it's a done deal. And so the reality is the victims, they're in front of me right now. The victims are content with this. What the victims want is to be able to move on with life and not be under duress or concerned with threat. That's the biggest thing. They just want to be able to carry on a normal life. And they're being the words escaping me, but they're being compensated, people. They're being compensated, the victims. And so the reason I say this is when I get in office, we're just going to enact it on a federal level. In the Bible, it talks about, people that harm children, you tie a millstone to their neck and you throw them into the fucking sea. Well, I mean, that's what we're going to do, America. We're not going to throw them in the sea, but we're going to get rid of them. Okay, if you want to harm children, if you want to molest children, if you want to rape people, we are going to fucking get rid of you, America. I just want you to understand this. I want to be crystal clear on where the fuck this is going. The reason I say that is when you have a person that is involved in child crimes, or you have a person that is involved in sexual deviancy, such as rape, the recidivism rate, meaning the repeat of offense of a same, similar, or greater, is fucking 85%, people. It's 85%. So when you go out and this person's molesting children, the likelihood that they're ever going to stop molesting a child or not do a greater crime is only 15%. I would rather just say, let's not just say that we fucking did, people. Let's just get rid of them. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's just fucking get rid of them. Now, we're not going to go back on the people that are sentenced already. You can't do that. But we're going to put a federal law in place. And you fuck with a kid, we're just going to execute you. That's who we're going to be as a nation. We are not going to be the home of goddamn perverts and pedophiles. We're not going to do that, America. It's over with. As soon as I get in office, we're coming up with a federal law. I'm gonna done declare it. I don't need goddamn Senate and goddamn Congress to tell me what the fuck is right and wrong when I have the goddamn statistics that back me the fuck up. Now, moving on to the next one, an eye for an eye. Now, an eye for an eye, when you talk about a person that hurts a child or a person that rapes a person, when you have a death sentence involved, a child and a victim of rape they don't have to execute somebody, people. That's not how it works, because you protect the victim. You don't need the victim being re-victimized, okay? So the way that an eye for an eye works, it was never to fall upon the state, people. Now, in the case of a child or a rape victim, it falls upon the state so that we don't re-victimize a victim. But when it comes to a person, if somebody murders your daughter, eye for an eye falls on the family. If your heart is so heavy and laden, you do, and we're done with all this extended goddamn having people on death row for 25 fucking years, that's over with. You got 10 years for your goddamn appeals, murderers. You got 10 fucking years to get it figured the fuck out. And when that 10 years is up, you're going to roll into a room to be executed. The family's going to fucking show up. It's the next of kin that decide if you are going to be executed. And the next of kin are the ones that carry out the execution, people. Now, you can do lethal injection where they use a button. You can use a firing squad where they use a button. There's all kinds of means to do it, people. But it falls upon the family. It's up to you whether you want the ultimate price paid for justice. It's not up to the damn state. Now, you go next of kin. You go mother, father. You go husband, domestic partnership. If that doesn't show up, you go to siblings. If nobody just shows up, then the person gets a stay. They get life in prison. Now, all of this, of course, due process. Everybody has to be convicted and found guilty. You want overwhelming evidence. You want to know that who you're putting to death. You know what I mean? And again, that falls upon the family. Are you convinced that person is the murderer? And so then you make the conscious decision. I want blood. I want blood. I want retribution. I want justice. And you take it upon yourselves. Now, we'll keep it clean, you know what I mean? But that's how it's always been done, people. That's how it's still done in parts of the Middle East. That's how it's still done in parts of Africa, people. The family, you've got clans and tribes, but the goddamn family handles it, people. You don't rely on the fucking state. They have a trial, they have a hearing, they determine guilt, and then the fucking family handles it. And that's what the fuck we're gonna do, people. We're done harboring these goddamn people. They can't... When a person has fucking, we can give them a psychological test and tell who's a psychopath and who's a sociopath, people. It's that easy. This isn't fucking complex stuff. A psychopath and a sociopath, once they murder, you're not going to rehabilitate them for fucking society. They're just not going to ever walk out and be a patron saint because you can't remove the psychopathy and the goddamn sociopathy. Now, next I want to talk about what the House of David is willing to do. I want to lift up everybody, and I want this to be as fast as possible, people. I mean, the reality, and what I want to use as an example is Germany. When Germany, after World War II, Germany was blown to high hell. That place was turned into rubble, people. And within 50 years, Germany became one of the most prosperous peoples and nations on the planet. And I use that as an example because I'm going to lift the whole fucking planet up simultaneously in half that time. And the way I'm going to do this, the House of David we're going to buy the robots. We're going to use 3D printing technology to create the houses. And as an act of good faith, the United States has the United States has many flaws, people. But we're going to start with the areas that are most socioeconomically challenged. That's where the House of David is going to focus. There's other things moving on behind the scenes, people, that other people are involved in. I'm focused on the House of David, what I'm going to do. And so, ideally, there's places that just don't have footprints. There's not buildings like, in the United States, you go everywhere, there's a damn house, other than the Southwest, people. And so, you want to find places that have blank slates, largely. And so with that, you've got places such as, you've got El Salvador, Ecuador, you've got Ukraine, the Russian front, which has been largely destroyed. That whole area needs to be rebuilt. You have, you've got Nigeria, you've got Ethiopia, you have Afghanistan, you have Iraq, and then you have North Korea. And so a lot of these places we kind of have we don't have the best relationship with, but some of them we do. And as an act of good faith, that's where the House of David and the World Economic Development Program are going to start. We're going to start in damn North Korea. We're going to start in Afghanistan. Those are the two places I want to focus most, because it sends a message to the world that new management's in town. We're done with the old. We're going to get North Korea opened up, and we're going to build lasting relationships with our world, with the world, people. That's what America needs. We need, when you want to have influence, people, I'm going to tell you, I walked as Sun Tzu and Genghis Khan, and this was really developed under Genghis Khan, though. Back then, things were a little different, and we had a philosophy, whores, not swords. Well, today, that's brides, not bombs. The House of David, there's a reason that we have wives from all over the planet, and we repeatedly do this cycle after cycle, because there's no quicker way to build a bond amongst peoples than to go and marry the daughter of a father that's a world leader. It's the quickest way, people. When you have a world leader, there's no love like a father's love for their daughter. And so when the House of David marries into a world leader's family, which are all royal lines and different things, people, a lot of them are IVF haplets, things like that. That's the quickest way to build nation and relationship, people. I'm just here to tell you, we've been doing it a long goddamn time. It's a blueprint that we use. The House of David uses it because it allows us to get in, because then you've got a father's love for their daughter and the grandchildren. And so they're, you know what I mean? They're family at that point, people. And that's the quickest way to build relationships, whether you want it to be China, Russia, North Korea, whoever it is. You go in and you take a wife and you marry into the family and you produce grandchildren for that world leader. And they'll love you to goddamn death. Now, to the people involved in robotics, understand, I'm just going to switch here gears because I didn't really do this justice. I'm going to build 100,000 of these 3D printing robots, people. That's what we're going to do for the World Economic Development Program. We are going to build 100,000 of these things, and we're going to unleash them on everywhere. Because I need to uplift everybody simultaneously as fast as possible. And the quickest way to uplift people and give them prosperity is through land holding and through homes, people. When people have security, then people begin reproducing, they begin becoming prosperous. And so that's why we're going to go ham. We're going everywhere. And again, there's no quicker way to build a relationship amongst the world than to lift up a damn nation, to go to an impoverished nation and say, hey, we are going to help you. We're going to lift you up just because it's the moral obligation to do for one's neighbors, because we're all one people. We're all one people. These imaginary borders, they really don't matter. Now, I understand everybody likes their nationality. I'm a goddamn American, people. I bleed red, white, and blue. But I also understand there's more to it. We're all one goddamn people. Everybody's after the same thing. And the House of David, the House of David is God's people. It doesn't matter what shade you are. It doesn't matter what tongue you speak. You're God's people. And I'm going to go out and help my goddamn people. And nobody's going to tell me otherwise or convince me otherwise, because I know it's the moral obligation of the House of David to uplift their goddamn people. We do it every time. We're the greatest to ever fucking do it. So with that, peace and blessings be upon your homes. To all the mothers, I want you all to have a happy Mother's Day. Here in central Indiana, we've got beautiful weather. It's great. I'm getting ready to go out and cook some food for my mother. So with that, peace and blessings be upon your homes.